Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine a book so steeped in legend, so feared, really, by the most powerful rulers of its time, that they didn't just lock it away. They apparently buried it, like to keep its very existence from, well, from contaminating the world.
Right.
We're diving into the story of Egypt's most forbidden text, the Lost Book of Thoth.
And it's fascinating, isn't it, how this idea, this concept of one single source of ultimate knowledge or power,
Yeah.
it just pops up across cultures, across history.
Yeah.
And linking this one to Thoth, the Egyptian god of wisdom, of writing, I mean, that immediately adds this powerful layer of intrigue.
Absolutely. The old stories, they whisper that this book has spells. Spells that can manipulate reality itself. We're talking controlling life and death, bending the very rules we live by.
It's a huge claim.
Huge. But here's a really unsettling bit. The stories also warned that only the truly worthy could even look at it without their minds just shattering completely. Think about that. Knowledge so potent it could actually drive you mad.
That really brings up a profound question, doesn't it, about the limits of, well, human understanding. Is there knowledge that maybe at our current stage we're not equipped to handle?
Seems like it.
The legend certainly suggests a belief in that kind of dangerous knowledge.
And look, this isn't just some, ancient campfire story. It takes this startling turn right into the present day.
Okay.
Dr. Amara Khalid, she's an archaeologist, recently made a discovery near Abydos. This was after years, apparently. It's been deciphering this ancient stele.
Right, a stone inscription.
Yeah. And what she found, well, it echoes these legends of the Book of Thoth in a pretty unnerving way.
Abydos, I mean, as you know, that's a hugely significant place. One of the oldest cities in Upper Egypt, right? Major cult center for Osiris, god of the afterlife.
Exactly. Which adds, like, another layer of potential meaning.
Any discovery there could genuinely reshape how we understand ancient Egyptian beliefs. It's big.
Precisely. But opening this crypt, whatever she found, it seems to have triggered some truly bizarre events almost immediately after.
Like what?
Well, Cairo experienced unexplained earthquakes. Then reports started flooding in skies, turning this disturbing, like, blood red color.
Whoa, okay.
And maybe the most chilling part, these local accounts of really unsettling visions, people claiming they heard screams, but in languages nobody recognized.
Dead languages.
Yeah, and animals just inexplicably fleeing the Nile, like mass terror.
Okay, if we try to connect that to how ancient cultures often saw things, interpreting natural events through sort of spiritual lens.
Right.
It's understandable, I guess, how these things might be seen as a reaction to disturbing something as big as this legendary book. Whether there's a real cause and effect link, that's obviously the big question.
Of course. But it definitely adds this layer of just chilling mystery, doesn't it?
It does.
It makes you wonder, could a book holding that kind of power, could it actually exist? And if it did, what would that even mean for us, for our world? Could it really rewrite reality like the old stories claim?
Well, the idea of a single text doing that.
Yeah.
It's probably symbolic, right? Representing some deep understanding of, like, the fundamental forces of the universe.
Yeah.
But that human desire to understand and, sometimes to control those forces, that's a theme that runs right through our history.
So, okay, let's jump right back to now. Dr. Khalid. Reportedly, she now has this book, or what she believes is this book.
Right.
And apparently she thinks she can not only read it, but master it. She's even claiming some kind of, like, communication with Thoth himself.
Direct communication. That's quite a claim.
Isn't it? And her goal, she says, is to use its power to fix humanity's biggest problems. Cure diseases, end world hunger. Noble ambition, no doubt.
Well, absolutely. That ambition, using knowledge to better society, it's a powerful motivator. We see it all the time.
Yeah.
History is just full of examples, isn't it? Where even the best intentions led to totally unforeseen, often negative consequences. The potential for unintended ramifications with something of this scale, it would be truly immense. Think about, nuclear power, genetic engineering, technology is meant for good, but
It's also used destructively. Yeah, I see that. And here's where it gets really interesting for me. The warnings. The warnings about this book are stark, and they come from the very top, supposedly.
pharaohs.
The pharaohs. They once held its power, legend says, but they ultimately chose to lock it away. Why?
Yeah.
Why would they do that?
That's the key question.
Were they just scared it would fall into the wrong hands?
Yeah.
Or were they themselves maybe unable to handle its influence.
Well, when powerful figures deliberately hide knowledge, it often tells you a lot about how they see its potential dangers.
Hmm.
It suggests they recognized inherent risks. Even for them, people who thought they could handle it. It makes you ask, what did they know? What did they experience that made them lock it up?
And there's this other really intriguing detail that surfaced. Apparently, back in 2019, ground-penetrating radar detected some weird anomalies near Abydos.
GPR, yeah, like an X-ray for the ground.
Right, lets you see underneath without digging. Well, this investigation, it got abruptly shut down by the Egyptian Antiquities Ministry.
Shut down? Why?
The official reason was just vague safety concerns, which,
Safety concerns. That can mean anything, really. Risk of collapse, disturbing a sensitive site. Standard procedure, maybe?
or maybe not so standard. It definitely makes you wonder what they might have thought was down there, right? If it ties into this legend.
It fuels speculation, certainly, especially with the timing and location.
And then, now we have this really unsettling piece of information. It's from an anonymous source, someone claiming to be close to Dr. Khalid's team.
Okay, anonymous source. Always tricky, but what did they say?
This source described the book
Yeah.
in a way that honestly just sends a shiver down your spine. They said it wasn't papyrus, the usual stuff.
Papyrus, what then?
They said it felt alive.
Alive.
Yeah, alive. Claimed the symbols on the pages actually moved. And most disturbingly, they said it seemed hungry.
Hungry. Okay, that takes us way beyond a typical historical artifact. That's deep into something else entirely. Mysterious, potentially threatening.
Right. It taps into those really deep fears, doesn't it? Fear of the unknown, the idea that knowledge itself might have, I don't know, agency, intent.
Yeah, that's a profoundly disturbing description. Alive and hungry.
So, look, we're left with this incredible dilemma. On one side, you've got this potential for immense good. Like Dr. Khalid envisions a world free from suffering, disease, famine.
The utopian dream powered by ancient knowledge.
Exactly. But on the other side, you have these ancient warnings, these really strange events after the discovery, and that truly chilling description of the book itself. It just forces us to confront this age-old question, right, about power and the responsibility that comes with it.
Indeed. The whole story, the legend surrounding the Book of Thoth, it serves as this powerful metaphor, really, for the double-edged nature of knowledge itself.
So,
Well, the deeper our understanding goes, the greater the potential becomes for both incredible creation and unimaginable destruction. It's a constant tension.
yeah, that makes sense. And that brings us to you, listening right now. Imagine you're in this situation. You're faced with this book, rumored to hold just unimaginable power, the potential to reshape reality, for better or maybe for worse. What would you do?
It's a heavy question.
Would you risk it? Try to understand it, master it, for the potential benefit of all humanity? Or would you listen to those ancient warnings, prioritize extreme caution? Maybe even think about destroying it completely.
That question, it really forces you to consider your own capacity, doesn't it? Your capacity for wielding immense power and what kind of ethical framework you'd even apply in a situation that extraordinary.
Yeah.
It challenges all our assumptions about progress, about ambition, maybe about the limits of what humans should reach for.
It really does. And as you think about that, just remember that anonymous source's description one more time. Alive and hungry. Is it possible that some knowledge isn't just dangerous if it falls into the wrong hands, but that it's inherently dangerous? Like it possesses an agenda, an intent we can't even begin to comprehend.
And what would a hungry book truly desire? That's a thought to leave you with. What does knowledge itself want?